Warning. Aspects of Dead on Dave are over the top and meant strictly for entertainment purposes only. Don't take it too seriously and have some fun.
All right. Welcome back to the channel, my bunch of mush puffs. And I don't think, oh, the microphone is picking up. Welcome back. It's the Tuesday show. Little bit different set of very familiar faces returning to the fold after what, like 4 months? It feels like, my God, it's been forever. Let's give a big old hearty Dead on Dave welcome back to the one, the only, the beautiful Faynicorn back again. Faybel, how you doing?
Hello.
Oh my God, everyone. I missed it. Oh, I missed it. I missed it so much. Does my heart good. Oh, it's so good to have you back, mamas.
It's good to be back, Dave. I really wanted to say that.
Right? Doesn't it just feel
cool
right?
People say.
Yeah, it is. It just feels it's reunited and it feels so good. Different bit of a vibe for people who have been around for a while and are like, hey, wait, the setup's all different and everything. This isn't like your normal thing with the whole YouTube roundup. Well, it's because it's no longer the YouTube roundup as you remember it. Now we got a little bit of a different thing. It's Dead on Dave live each and every single day. I'm tired of trying to rebrand the world, and now it's just Dead on Dave live with his wonderful co-hosts who make him better than he actually is. And Tuesday nights is Faye nights, and it's everything that she might possibly want to talk about. You kind of know where she's going to be going with it, and I'm totally on board to get educated on all the stuff that we missed. But first, let's catch up with Faye. How have you been the last couple of months? What's been going on with you? Catch everyone up.
Hello, everybody. It is me. First, I'd like to say that I'll let my husband know he doesn't have to put the YouTube Roundup logo on the thumbnails anymore.
That's right. That's it. Did he in this one? I didn't see it. He put my regular... Oh, did he? God damn it.
And you know what he was going to do? He was trying to hide the Twin Towers in the thumbnail. Because it's like 9/11.
Well, yeah, I know today's 9/11. I know that. I think we're all aware of that one.
Okay, well, you know, some of us don't live in America.
Yes, because 9/11 only had an American impact. It didn't change the world in any way, shape, or form. Good Lord.
Well, Dave, I don't know if you do this, but I actually teach English as a second language to Chinese students, and they didn't say anything about 9/11 today.
Because they were in on it. They confirmed. Because though they were in, not the Chinese, those children who weren't even born were behind it. I just fucking debunked everything. We know the truth. I'm coming after you, China. You don't want a Dead on Dave problem because now you're in for it, all right? The guns are coming. Thank you for exposing this Chinese conspiracy, Faye. Thank you.
Well, you know what? I just want to clear George Bush's name.
Shh. No such thing happened. My God. Ooh, we got a George W. reference. That's pretty good. So aside from all of that craziness, how else has everything been going? How's parenthood?
What do you want me to say? It's indescribable if you don't have a child, and if you do, then you know what I'm going through.
Yes. Far too well, and I didn't even have it come out of me. It's so funny, man. I didn't do the hard work. I just, planted the seed, very appropriately phrased. But, I've been away from my kid for the first time since, I was in Iraq and stuff. This is the longest that I've been away from her since then. And she might as well have come from me. I feel like a piece is missing of me. It's so difficult. And that's about all I can talk about when it comes. If I even say her name, I can already feel like the tears starting to well up, man. It's not a good thing. So, yes, I understand more than you could possibly expect.
Dave, 100%. I love my kid more than words could explain. I would legitimately, like people say this, I would legitimately stab anyone that I saw, like, hurting my child. Like, I'm not, like, a murderer, but, like, it's in me. Like, I can't even watch, like, true crimes where they talk about, like, children being murdered because I just feel like that rage swelling up, and I'm like, I could slit someone's throat. I could.
Right.
The capacity is that exists in me if somebody were to hurt my child.
Yep.
That being said, I can't wait to go away on vacation for a week and leave her with her grandparents.
You are gonna miss her so badly. Like, let's mark this down and then let's count the fucking tweets of "I miss my daughter," because I'm telling you, you think that you want to be away from her, and everything's just gonna feel wrong. It's just gonna feel absolutely wrong.
She's right here, right now. She never sleeps during the day. She's a horrible sleeper. Thanks. Everyone's like, my baby sleeps 10 hours a night. And I'm like, well,
not
anyway.
It must be the American inside of her.
Yeah, exactly. Everything bad, American. Everything good, Canadian. I love that deal.
That's the most Canadian thing you will hear today. That is 100% accurate. There you go.
But basically, yeah, so she never sleeps during the day. Today, she went to bed at like 1 or noon and knocked out completely, except woke up like literally, Dave was here like 4 or 5 minutes before the show started and was like, hey, I made it, guys. I set my alarm.
I was like, come on, baby.
If the baby can attend YouTube Roundup, then you can too.
I was like, come on, baby, what's going on here? I mean, now, granted, usually when she's here, she's breastfeeding. So, I mean, we're making progress in the right direction. So
she can eat literally in like 5 seconds now.
Oh, she just sucks it dry.
I'm going to send you some her 4-month pictures, because guess what, everybody? She's 4 months old now.
Jesus.
And I want you to put up on screen so everybody can see, because I don't really post too much to my main Twitter. Just because I don't want to be one of those parents that like exploits their child. You know what I mean? Like I have a child and I'm like, okay to talk about it, but it's not going to be like, you know, I'm pimping her out. Right.
You're not one of those people that just shoves a wallet into everybody's face. Like, look at her. Just look at how beautiful. God, she is beautiful, though. Oh, my God, she's so cute. Let's put this on screen. We're going to go ahead and get this up there for everybody to see. So you can see the 4-month-old edition of the soon-to-be one-day co-host of this very show. She's going to surpass you and now still be here, probably with the same amount of subs as well.
That's right, and she'll be on and she'll be like, Gabe, I am so mad about the new Power Ranger show.
That's right.
I don't know what kids will like in like 10 years.
No, you took a good
I'm so out of touch. I think Power Rangers is cool. That's my problem.
Well, Power Rangers will forever be cool. Look at this beautiful baby. Look at this beautiful, beautiful angel. Look at her. That is, you did good work, you and Phil. You really did. You did. She got to get going on that hair, though. It needs to start growing hair.
She's bald.
Bald as this day is long. Holy Lord. That is one bald baby.
Yeah. We're hoping for like, you know, we're hoping that'll change. Like, we don't want a Caillou status level baby here.
No, Alicia, man, my God. Alicia didn't start growing hair until 4 years old. I swear. It was like, took forever for that kid to grow hair. I was like, getting ready to get wigs. My Lord.
Are you kidding?
No, it took forever. I remember it was, she was 2 years old. Not even. She was a little bit older than that, maybe. No. Right around 2 years old when the Bears were in the Super Bowl in 2006. It was actually in 2007 when they played the Super Bowl that year, if I remember everything correctly. Regardless, she was running around in a little Bears outfit, bald as hell. I mean, she's 18 months at this point, almost 2 years, something around there. Bald as hell, and I drilled her. Drilled her with a football. It was a great time. She was supposed to catch it, and she didn't. I mean, she's got to get those hands up. She's got to get those hands up. I was trying to teach her at a young age, and she didn't turn around. I was like, go on a go route. And she looked at me. She nodded like she knew what I was talking about. So I was like, go. Blue for 2. Buffalo, go. And she did. She made a little hook, and I drilled it and knocked her down. Melanie was mad at me that day. Holy shit.
But you know what? That probably jump-started the hair growth.
It did. So. I think it did, yeah. Yeah, it did. I can't even talk about it. I can't. All right, that's all I can do on that. But speaking of wigs, let's snatch some wigs because we got a lot to get into because we've missed so much. What is happening in the world of the YouTubes and whatever else is in that beautiful mind of yours that you want to talk about? Take it away, Faybel.
It has been a hot summer for YouTube drama, and I had nobody to talk about it with. I actually was hurting to miss this show because I just have feelings that I need to express, and my husband doesn't care. It's so bad, Dave, that I talked about it with my dad.
Oh yeah?
And he's like, why do you watch this crap?
Well, I'm back. I'm here. I'm here for you, Faye. I will be Phil's peace of mind because you have somebody to dump all of this on once a week too.
Thank God.
Yes.
Okay, so I can, like, there's been so much, but I'm just going to kind of talk about, like, the more recent things, because I'm not going to lie, I forgot what happened before. I'm not even sure what, like, I spoke about on the last roundup. I'm kind of like, I don't know, like, what I covered, what I didn't cover. Well, who knows?
And,
Well,
and you know what's even worse? I'm pretty sure all the roundups are gone. I don't think any are left. When the strike happened, you know, I was told that there was a very good possibility that I was going to be receiving more strikes if I left all the stuff up the way it was. I decided, you know, I had a knee jerk, you know, I freaked the fuck out, and I went ahead and I deleted everything, and it seemed like the right move, and I still think it was, considering nothing else really happened from there, and considering the rule change of what the policy ended up becoming about just third-party advertisers at all when you're live streaming, I would have ended up getting them. So I'm actually really glad that I did it. But we have no more roundups that are up there. I don't think. If there are, there's very few.
There's like at least 7.
Okay,
yeah,
good. All right. It's been a while.
Because I have like the thumbnails saved on my computer.
Okay.
I like to laugh at them. And there were some that were still up on your channel when I went to go look to see how many had been like taken down.
Yeah.
But no, we've been at this for a long time.
We have.
Almost a year.
Yeah,
I
wow,
think.
is it
Maybe
really?
longer?
That's
I have no
amazing.
idea. Yeah.
Good God, look at us. Go us. Go us. And we are back with all of it, and I'm very excited to get back into all the stories and not have really any idea of what you're talking about. That's always fun.
Good.
It's always
okay,
fun.
Yeah, you haven't been paying attention.
I'm paying a little bit of attention, but I've been going through stuff. Like a lot of life-changing events as of late. It's been difficult to keep up on all the rigmarole, but I've been dabbling, and luckily I have some of the amazing people, both in Tommy's news team and my own, and the crossover that does happen, that have been keeping me in the loop of a lot of things. And I got to thank you guys for everything that you've been doing. You know exactly what I'm talking about. This is a message to a very select group out there. You know who you are. You're fucking rock stars. I love you guys. Thank you for your support, especially the last couple of days. I owe you something big, and I promise I will deliver one day. Faye, take us away.
Leilani says you're welcome.
Aww.
Anyway. Okay, let's start with the old stuff and get to the new stuff. Like, we'll go like an old. So first we're going to talk about the FouseyTube drama. Now, I'm sure you know about this.
Oh, the explosion, the implosion, everything that happened with him and Keem, and now Clown's got the new Fousey 2 about to friggin' drop any day. Yeah, yes, I'm subtly aware, so remotely.
All right, so after the big TanaCon fiasco, Fousey heard about it and he was inspired. And he wanted to do a charity rat concert, is my best interpretation of what his idea was. Right. And for those of you who don't know, I do want to preface with this. FouseyTube is bipolar. And I have a very close family member that also suffers from bipolar. So when you know what mental illness looks like on that scale, right, you recognize this pretty quickly as, oh, he's manic. Yeah. My family member said to me, I'm going to make $2 million in a month, and I'm going to, you know, and I, you know, and all this. And it's like, I want to go visit them in the psych ward.
You dropped out just a little bit. Just rewind about 10, 15 words, and you dropped out on me.
Okay, sorry.
Uh-oh, technical difficulties. I think you got to put the baby back on the treadmill.
With him,
Uh-oh, Faye, I'm losing you.
Back up into mania. So.
Shit, Faye, I'm losing you completely. I cannot hear you at all.
Oh.
Oh, there you are. Okay. All right. Now we're okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, all right. There we go.
All right.
Shit. Okay.
So.
All right.
I lose my train of thought.
I'm sorry. I lost you completely, but now you're good. Go ahead.
Basically, he talks about how before this he was depressed, suicidal, living in his mom's basement, and now he's on the flip. And so this is like the depressive manic cycle. Mm-hmm. So when it was just insane. So obviously, who could have guessed that a hastily thrown together convention 2.0 didn't go well?
Right. Who would think that would fail?
And after Shane did his Tana documentary and went on Adam 22's show, his podcast, to talk about it, Fousey just stops by the studio, breaks in, and just starts talking, you know, preaching his message. It was so bad that after like an hour, like the 58-minute mark in the video I watched anyway, Shane Dawson just gets up and leaves because he's so uncomfortable.
Oh, good God.
Did you watch that video?
Oh yeah,
I mean, shows
we,
up too.
Yeah, we all saw the highlights and everything. I didn't watch the entire thing because I don't like a person in that room. Like, there's not one person in the room that I like even a little bit. Yes, including the beloved and infallible fucking Shane Dawson. But I just, there's nobody. I can only tolerate so much of it. But I caught all the highlights of the insanity that ensued.
Yeah, actually, everyone lies in the chat, says he believed it so hard, and I just want to say, because he's that delusional, and I don't say that in a mean way. I say that in a literally, like, he's that mentally ill way, right? Like, when I visited my family member in the hospital, let me tell you, I've known them every day of my life. They didn't recognize who I was. Yeah. They thought they had spoken to Jesus. They thought they had met Madonna. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, bipolar is that messed up.
Sure.
Like, it's not your run-of-the-mill, and I hate to say, it's not your run-of-the-mill, like, depression. It's not your run-of-the-mill anxiety. They actually experience psychosis.
Oh, yeah.
So it is literal, by-the-books insanity, and that's what you're seeing with this FouseyTube stuff. Now, Keemstar thinks it's funny and would not let it go. Like, everybody, like, even PewDiePie made like a video and then he just dropped it, you know, because PewDiePie likes to just he does trending topics basically now. But Keemstar just would like not let it go. Like, he would put up videos being like, oh, you said if you didn't get this many million people watching, you delete your channel. How come you didn't delete your channel? How come you haven't deleted your channel? Just like hammering him. It's like, Keemstar, this guy obviously has a mental illness, and you're like, why are you holding him accountable like he's some sane, logical thinking person in this moment? Right. You know what I mean? It was, I just couldn't believe it. And like, I don't have like, geez, like, I don't know why. I know, and I'm actually kind of worried about Clown's video for the same reason. I feel like he's going to try to hold, I saw the trailer for the video, and it comes across as if Fousey is putting on a show.
Well, according to Fousey, Fousey is putting on a show. You know, that's the thing. I mean, and that is a little bit of the issue here. Because while we are accepting the fact that he's bipolar, we don't actually know that he is. And I'm not trying to say anything of that nature, like I'm calling him out or anything. I'm just saying, for a guy who says everything that you see is fake, you have to call that into question as well, right? I mean, that's fair.
I think that he means, but like in the prank videos and stuff.
He says every tear, every emotion, every video, every moment that you've seen out of FouseyTube since he became FouseyTube was part of a creation. It is part of a character.
He speaks in absolutes, right? He's just a very extreme person. So I could just chalk that up to just semantics, to be honest.
Well, there's no way. There's definitely some antics going on. There's no question about that. I've been waiting to bust that out since fucking Lethal Weapon 3. You're like, Lethal Weapon 3, I've been waiting to bust that shit out. Yes, my God. Thank you. Thank you, Lethal Weapon 3. I finally got to use that joke. I'm so happy. All right, please continue.
Big E says Fousey was manic for a very long time, too. That's how bipolar is. A lot of people experience maybe like manic or depressive episodes and only last a couple of days. In order for a manic episode to be classified as mania, it has to last minimum 7 days, but it can last for years. I know too much about this subject.
So you think it's legitimate? You think Fousey, there's nothing fake about it? You don't think anything that Clown, because I'm assuming that's going to be part of this, is Clown, I'm assuming that's what part of this video is going to be, is Clown debating whether or not Fousey is actually mentally ill, how we should take things going forward.
I think that Clown has made up his mind. I think Clown has made up his mind about Fousey, and he's just going to, his video is basically to convince everyone else. Yeah. That's the impression I got from the trailer.
No, fair enough.
So, and you know what, like, if it is an act, Fousey should win an Academy Award, because I have never seen bipolar portrayed so well. I've seen a lot of TV shows, I've seen a lot of movies about bipolar and mental illness, and none of them have done it as well and perfect to the T that FouseyTube has. So give that man an award if his acting is that good.
He would be, look, we saw him in one of the friggin' terrible Medea movies. He's not that good of an actor. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
But I want to just quickly sidetrack because I wasn't going to talk about this, but because we didn't cover it. So you said that you don't like Shane Dawson. Is this because of the TanaCon videos, or did you already not like him before?
I've never been a fan of Shane. I just he's not my cup of tea. I don't.
Is it his content or his personality?
Both. I think his content is nowhere near this genius level that people are giving him credit, especially his documentaries. Not really all that impressive. I don't find things that he says to be all that friggin' interesting. I don't think he does anything all that groundbreaking. In fact, I feel like he's basically the same as everybody else on YouTube. A lot of collusion to make things better than they actually are. He just comes, I don't know why. I've known people like that in my life, and they always have turned out to be just very fake individuals. So I don't know. I'm not saying that he's 100% fake. I'm just saying he comes off that way to me, and I just can't connect. It's not for me. I'm not his demographic, at all. I'm just not in that demographic. I'm 35 years old. I'm a hairy fat fuck. I have a very limited amount of interest that I have left in my life, and he's just not one of them. I mean, it's as simple as that.
And I will clarify quickly for Jade that I am talking about only bipolar 1 here. So the person I know is a bipolar 1, and I also believe that Fousey would be bipolar 1. Just in case, for anyone that studied psych and wants to clarify. But I think bipolar 1 is what most people think of when they think bipolar, so bipolar 2 is a little bit more easy to hide.
Dave is a homophobe. I'm not a homophobe. Just because I don't like the guy does not make me a fucking homophobe. Why every time...
Can we talk about one thing regarding Shane Dawson's sexuality really quickly that nobody wants to talk about?
What's that?
He came out as bisexual and said that was the reason that his relationship ended with his girlfriend. But if you're bisexual, why could you not continue on a relationship with a female?
Boom. Well, maybe because the female wasn't cool with it anymore. Maybe she was like,
but Lisa Schwartz, she seems pretty open-minded. She's all friends with him and just loves it. I don't know. I've always been confused about that because I get that because Onision's wife does this too, where she's like, I'm bisexual, so I need a man and a woman. But I'm like, but that's not how bisexuality works. And honestly, that's kind of it creates this negative stigma against bisexual people that they can't be happy in a heterosexual relationship when they can, or they can't be, or a homosexual relationship's not enough, and it causes a lot of discrimination against them in both straight and gay communities. Anyway, it's just always. Nobody ever talked about it when that came out. Right. And, because you can't say anything, right? And, obviously me as a straight person, I can't say anything. But I always thought, that's kind of not, it doesn't, I don't feel like that's a good,
I mean, hell, you can't say anything about Shane anyway. Every time that I just say I don't like the guy, and I don't even have any really great reasons for not liking him. It's just there's a feeling about him that I get that just I don't like. I just don't like the guy. I don't like the content. I don't like vloggers. I'm just not that guy for that stuff. So I don't watch him. So I don't know. But every time I say that, I get lambasted for it. I get absolutely beat the shit out of for it every single time. My God, this is because I have an incredibly gay audience. We have so many gays in the audience. It's fantastic. I'd fuck every single one of you. I love you all. I love every single part of your gay being. But God, do we have a lot of them, and they hate when I talk badly about Shane. Thank God Tobes isn't here.
I just want you to know, all my lovely gays watching, is that I come from an extremely Christian family on my side and my married-in side, and I fight with them every family event about why I think that God loves gay people, and they fucking hate it. But it's so bad that a family member of mine said, why do you fight so hard for gay rights? I don't know why you're so hung up on this. Well, number one, because it's the right thing to do, and number two, because it's funny how fucking weak your arguments against it are. But anyway, it's just good.
Yeah, it's just not for me. It's just not for me at all. So it's fuck you, Dave. There it was. I knew it was coming. He was gonna stab me, and not the way that he'd want to. Boom! But it's cool. It is what it is. There's a lot of people that I like that I guarantee everybody in the fucking world hates. So. I don't
Leaping
mind.
Lizard.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this. I heard, this is just on the gossip forums only. I heard that on a set for a movie that he was working on, you know Zachary Quinto, he was yeah, I know, super hot.
Live long and prosper, baby.
Yeah, he's gay. He was also in the first season of American Horror Story, which is where I know him better from.
Hopefully he's returning in this season.
Oh, I would love that.
Well, they're going back to Murder House, so I'm hoping he appears.
Bring that pretty man in. Anyway, I heard that Shane Dawson, while he was dating Lisa, made sexual advances towards Zachary on the set.
Oh.
So, yeah. So that was apparently some stuff
what?
like.
Hold on, let's give Shane some fucking credit, all right? Like, if you're gonna swing at all in that fucking ballpark, swing for the fucking fences. Well done. I like that. All right, I like Shane a little bit more right now because that's good stuff. Because, all right, Shane's a good-looking guy. He's not Zachary Quinto's league. No. Zachary Quinto could have me, and look at me. I'm a goddamn stud. So just imagine what he can do if he actually got picky. My lord. So no, Shane's much more beautiful than I am. I'm just kidding. So good.
Anyway, I just say that I have nothing against Shane. I do get where you're coming from, where I feel like there is this kind of like fake, phony, I really need people to like me kind of thing. But I think that comes from like maybe his insecurities with him previously struggling with like being overweight or I guess morbidly obese technically. So I don't know. I'm willing to give it a pass. Like it's just not the worst thing. I don't know.
If I like this content, I would be like, yeah, I can overlook that. If he made content that was for me, that spoke to me, that I identified with. I mean, he's not exactly fucking Kevin Smith, and that's kind of in my wheelhouse right there, you know. Shane's not that guy. He just does not appeal to me as a content creator. I'm sure he's a very nice guy.
Real.
Yes, he is.
And just so likable. God, I remember I saw him on Movie Fights, and I was just like, "What? He should be here on every episode because he's so likable." He's not. I know.
He's so thin. He's so thin, and he's still funny. He's like the first fat guy to lose weight and still retain his funny. Jonah Hill lost 150 pounds, 200 pounds, lost all of his funny. But
I really liked him in War Dogs.
I haven't seen War Dogs. I haven't seen that.
It's like considered not to be a good movie, but I actually really enjoyed it. So whatever my shit taste, but whatever.
I heard he got jacked. Is Jonah Hill jacked? I heard he got like fucking Herculean. I heard he's just massive.
Let me search Jonah Hill nudes and we'll see.
Good God. So, all right, to wrap up the first thing there with Fousey, where do you think this is going long term? Do you think there is a possibility that it is all bullshit? And if it is, what does that mean? Does it mean anything? Because he has been a big presence on YouTube for a long time. If it were to come out that unequivocally, even his bipolar stuff, everything is 100% bullshit. Do you think there's ramifications that go beyond just him that kind of affect everybody?
Is he still big on YouTube? Because I literally do not pay any attention to him outside of just this specific drama. And no, like, offense to him, like, the love arrives message is all good, but I feel like he's kind of fallen out of relevancy. Like, I feel like nobody gives a crap.
Well, with all this stuff lately.
I feel like that's where it'll continue to go.
Well, yeah, because he did try to cross over and everything, and he has kind of left YouTube. But, I mean, he's still around, and not only that, he also, you know, everything that happened in the last few months brought his name back to the forefront. Clown, I'm sure, you know, whatever he's going to do, there'll be a little bit of a resurgence there. But you know, it is what it is. You know, he's not what he, but he's important to the history of YouTube. He's one of those guys you got to tell the story of, for good, bad, or indifferent. When we're talking about YouTube in the annals of history, and if there's ever been a more proper use of annals with fucking anything, it is certainly YouTube. More anal to be anything. Good Lord, you have to talk about him. So he's just one of those guys. And if everything turns out to be bullshit, and like, how much does that affect anybody? I mean, does that kind of change how people perceive YouTube? Does that just kind of prove that YouTube is just another form of entertainment light? I mean, like, what do you think there's anything there?
I mean, like, yes, it's, I don't know. I just don't feel like FouseyTube is that revolutionary in the little blip on the internet where time moves like at 7 times speed.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like he will be forgotten about very quickly until he pulls his next stunt. Kind of like Onision.
Do I smell a segue coming? Was that a segue to our next topic?
Yes, it is, Dave.
Well, it wouldn't be a show with Faye if we didn't get into some Onision. What's old Greggy Poo up to now?
Oh, just trying to piss off people as much as he can, and today he's decided to go after black people.
Oh, no. Oh, well, yeah, okay. Yeah, I do know a little bit about this story. He did get himself in some hot water not that long ago. Tell us what happened with this wonderful fucking gem. Jesus Christ, Greg.
Anyway. And I just want to say that for anybody that's asking about Trisha, she just got a puppy and she almost broke up with Jason over not going to Hamilton with her. It's not that interesting. Like, I'm waiting for, like, something funny to happen. You know, people are saying that she's abusive. Maybe we'll go into that in a different show.
I love that they're still together. It's been 4 months and, like, nothing major's happened in the world of Trisha. That's amazing.
Yeah, people say it's because he bought her this puppy to take her craziness out on. So, I don't know, Dave. We'll see. Maybe that's a good secret.
Move. It's a good move, Walking Jerky Man. Thank you for doing that. You saved us all from the wrath of Trisha. Very smart. And if she's playing with the dog, that means you don't have to get on top of that. And that's a positive, too, for you. Because
wait, what is that? Are you implying bestiality?
No. I was saying that I'm sure Trisha Paytas with a dog is one of those fucking dog mommies that are so fucking obsessive, carries the dog around in like a purse or a backpack.
100%. You're
she
right.
seems like
the
that
dog's
type.
like struggling out of her arms, and she's like, "You get in that purse and you wear my Chanel hoodie."
That's right. That's exactly what I'd expect. I'd expect nothing less from Trisha. Oh, goddess, she is.
Let's talk about Onision.
Let's get into Greg. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's still doing funny shit. Unlike Trisha. Trisha, get interesting. Anyway, so this all starts. I actually want to predate the hair videos because right before this started, he puts on a black charcoal mask, and and his thumbnail is him wearing this black charcoal mask with the words "All Lives Matter."
Oh God, he's so stupid.
And he starts the video with being, if you guys think that this is blackface, this is a beauty product. But we're going to talk about race in this video where I, a white man, am wearing a black charcoal mask. And if you say anything about it, remember, you're racist. Wink. And then he just bullshits for like a minute.
No, Greg. You're an idiot. You're a fucking moron. Are you kidding me right now? You actually have the gumption, the balls. I'm sorry, I got to rant for a second. The gumption, the balls to put on a goddamn mask. It doesn't matter if it's a beauty product or not. You know what your intention behind the mask was. And you're going to say that if anybody has a problem with it, they're racist? Are you fucking out of your mind, you social justice warrior fucking cuckbag? My God, do you understand how manipulative emotionally that is to say to a fucking demographic, let alone your own? Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, I just had to... Oh, my God.
It's so funny. And so then after this happens, obviously people not happy, he then makes a video where he talks about people with, and he uses very clever wording where he says extremely curly hair, and he posts pictures with like people with afros and stuff, right? So he's like, these extremely curly haired people, and he's posting pictures of braids and stuff. He's like, you don't wash those every day. You probably smell like a dead rat on your head.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
He goes in, and obviously this pissed a lot of people off. He's telling people that they should wash their hair every day, which, by the way, nobody should wash their hair every day. Because even if you have like super thin, fine hair, the oils on your head, right, if you strip your oil every day, which is what you're doing when you're shampooing, damages your hair, dries it out, and doesn't allow for a lot of growth, right? Now he's running his fingers through his hair, and he's like, look how silky my hair is. Like, Onision, what are hair types?
Right.
And he's basically saying, like, if you don't wash your hair every day, you're disgusting, right? So a lot of black women decided to do what they call the Onision challenge, where they wash their hair every day. Their hair falls out. Their hair doesn't even dry for 48 hours. Right. So they're washing wet hair upon wet hair, right? Their hair's falling out. Their hair's drying out. It's just a disaster. And then Onision gets mad, and he, I kid you not, made 14 videos on this subject. I counted on his channel.
Is it really 14?
It's 14,
That's
and it's been going on for over a month.
That's amazing. Well, because there was a big thing that came out of this from the beginning, right? I mean, there was an actual incident with, I believe, a fan's mother who was who's a professional, and they got into it really heated, and it got some coverage. I know, not full on mainstream, but I did see some articles about this in certain places. I can't remember, that's why I can't cite the source, but I saw articles on this where it got kind of some traction. Are you going to reference that too? Because that was fucking insane. Because she was supposedly an expert, like a dermatologist and shit.
Yeah, and a hair, like a bunch of hairstylists came forward too, and it was, it was bad. Like, he was basically like a lot of like you said, his fans were thinking that, like, oh no, Greg says I'm a smelly, disgusting rat person. Right. So they just go and wash their hairs, and like some people actually got like chemical burns from like the sulfates on their head, because when you have super curly hair, it doesn't allow the oils that center around your scalp to really travel down your hair at the same rate that people with like straight and like naturally like finer hair does. So they didn't have any protection, and they was burning their scalp, and like I said, people's hairs were falling off, and it's a disaster. So anyway,
what was his response to this?
His response was, you're wrong, deal with it. He makes videos being like, I didn't tell you to use this much effing shampoo, and he like fills his hand up. He's like, just use a dollop, just use a tiny bit. You know what I mean? And he's all like, you're not using the right shampoo. You gotta buy shampoo that says daily wash. He literally, this is a direct quote, people. Turn up your volume. This is a direct quote, okay? My pubes are curly, and I wash them every day, so I know it's possible.
No.
He fucking said that.
No.
I almost lost my shit. I couldn't believe it.
Well, now we at least know that Greg has no basic understanding of how a human body works, and that's completely different types of hair. The hairs are so different. The only thing that they share in common is they grow from a follicle. That is it. I mean, what the fuck, man? That's wonderful. Well done. Good job, Greggy. Well done.
Oh, and and then he was obviously, as you can imagine, getting the backlashes. He's all like, I know you're going to dislike these videos. Go ahead, do it, dislike my video. He's just like completely like, so he decided that now he's disowning the Onision personality. He says he's not really Onision. He's character. And he's not responsible.
He's pulling a Fousey.
He's not responsible for anything he says because he's character. He makes a new damn channel called Character Vlogs, and they get like no views, by the way, like 2,000 views, and that's it, right? and I know, like, some people, it's like, wow, that's a lot, and I'm not downing that, but you have to remember his channel has almost 2 million subscribers, so to get 2,000 views on a video is really bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, his channels are fucking all basically dead anyway. I mean,
yeah, YouTube, like, it came out that YouTube was trying to kill his channel, and they did it, so good job.
Good. I have no problem. Actually, no, I do have a problem with that. YouTube should not be dictating what people are watching. I do have a problem with that. As much as I hate Greg, I don't like that.
I actually would disagree. I think that YouTube should kill out some channels. Have you watched that Nerd City video on Jake Paul?
Yeah, I did. I have. And
I watched that with my dad, and my dad, I only watched 10 minutes, and he said, why is this allowed on their platform?
Look,
he's like, why is this guy not banned?
With Jake, and I think with anybody else, it's regulation, not banning. I mean, it's like they need to enforce the rules that everybody else is supposed to adhere to. The fact is, YouTube, and Nick DiOrio said this, and I've said this a million times. I know you've heard me say this. We've talked about it at length at times on this very show. YouTube's undefined. There's no definition. They don't adhere to a set of rules that every other form of media in the world adheres to. Even by countries, there's a standard set that all rules are basically fucking got a little bit of semblance of in common with. So it's a little frustrating when, YouTube is, one of the biggest growing forms of media on the planet, and yet it still goes undefined. And we have to deal with things of this nature because of that lack of definition, because of that lack of regulation. I don't want regulation. I'd like to be able to govern ourselves, but we can't. We're all a bunch of fucking animals. Most of us don't know what we're doing. We don't know how to fucking handle the money and the fame and the success that we get from these type of platforms. So many people burn out. Some people kill themselves trying to find the fucking fame. It's the Wild West on YouTube. So I don't know if YouTube should have the power to ban. I'm not saying that everybody who's on YouTube deserves to fucking be here. There are some channels that definitely need to go. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying I don't think YouTube should be choosing who goes, because they have a fucking way too much at stake to be making those choices. There's a conflict of interest because they're never going to get rid of Jake Paul ever. He's the biggest earner, one of the biggest earners. They'll never get rid of him.
He could, because well, they will at least. I think that we could at least rally enough to get him removed off YouTube Kids. Because
yes.
So for those of you who don't know, I'm an admin on a mom forum. We have tens of thousands of members, right, for people who have children, and all it takes is for me to raise an outrage that that our children could come access to, because guess what kind of moms are on mom forums? Rich, white, middle class. That's right, YouTube. You want to talk where the money is? Those people have your fucking money. Their husbands, they're banging 2 girls on the side and they're bringing home the fucking dough, and she's sitting here bored all day, overprotective helicopter of their children. I come and say, look at this guy who's exploiting your kids. They're gonna throw a fit. Those are the people, YouTube, that are paying your bills in the long run. Those are who the advertisers want to keep happy. Get Jake Paul off of YouTube Kids, because when the mainstream moms find out about this, they're gonna fucking flip because they have nothing better to do.
Honestly, I don't know how moms haven't found out about this by now. I mean, look, Jake Paul.
They hand their kid a tablet and they go and they drink wine.
True.
That's why. Okay,
True.
so it only takes a woke mom to pin a post to the top of our forum that they use every day and say, "Hey guys, I'm really worried about this."
And let me guess, you are that woke mom.
I mean, I'm the only mom that I know that even knows about YouTube.
How many of your children are watching this? And, you know, you're 100% right, though, too. Because that's all it takes. It's just a little bit of a movement. And you're right. Because they are a big pocketbook, and they are, they might actually be able to make a little bit of a stance. But the thing is, the Nerd City videos got some good traction. But the Pauls have had mainstream coverage of their fucking falls and their follies in the past, and nothing's really happened.
It's because it has to cost YouTube money. YouTube doesn't give a F about morality. They just care about the bottom line. They're a business. Surprise, surprise. Right. Once it costs them money, then they're going to get scared. That's why YouTube Kids exists. They made that so that moms would be happy.
True.
Well,
there's a problem, though, and the issue is typically, you look at the PewDiePie situation. Whether people want to blame PewDiePie for everything, like there are still people who blame PewDiePie for the adpocalypse 1.0.
Onision does.
Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. A lot of people do. Stupid people do, at the very least. And Greg definitely falls into that category. But what happened to PewDiePie? Nothing. Nothing.
But he's not on YouTube Kids.
No, he's not. No, it's true. But I'm talking in general of how YouTube conducts when things happen and it affects people and everything. It doesn't ever affect the person that they're trying to target or the reason for it happening. Nothing happened to PewDiePie. It affected everybody else lower than him. You know, it's just like, so it had no big effect to PewDiePie. It did. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that PewDiePie didn't lose anything from it, but you know what I mean. Pewds is set. And he's going to make his fucking money no matter what. He had some consequences, some ramifications and all of that. But overall, it affected everybody else lower than him than it did him himself. And I'm sure he feels bad about that. I've seen him talk about it. This is not me throwing any shade at Pewds over that. It's just the reality of it. He was affected way less than everybody else on the platform because he has the size to maintain everything that he had before. You know, so it's, and I agree with you, Leaping Lizard. Pewds did nothing wrong. But the fact is, the advertisers feel he did, and they went to YouTube, and Pewds is fine. We all got fucked. So I see more of that happening. Is my point. They're not gonna take it out on the Pauls. We're all gonna suffer.
I mean, but they should. And I'm not saying like that I need to delete him or ban him or anything, but do what they're doing to Onision's channel. Don't promote it.
Just throttle it, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're calling for throttling.
But they're not. They're doing the exact opposite. They're throwing him on the top of the trending. They're putting him in YouTube Rewind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, there's a difference in scope. Onision is easy to throttle. He's a dying channel. He's a meme. The Pauls are a meme too, but they're an incredibly fucking rich and thriving enterprise of a meme that brings in more money than Onision could ever fucking hope to.
YouTube has the power to create a better enterprise. They could start promoting the heck out of another energetic vlogger that isn't the Pauls. They can make or break you on this platform.
That's true.
And just like God giveth and God taketh away. They can do that, but they're not. I don't know why. Whatever.
Well,
I'm
because
not there.
anybody else would be a risk. Because anyone else would be a risk. And the Pauls are stable. I mean, not mentally or anything, but for them financially, they're stable. They're probably not going to be going anywhere. You know, kids are going to continue to fucking just be mindless sheep because parents aren't watching and all that, blah, 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 but whatever the case may be. If they go and start supporting somebody else and putting all the backing behind somebody, that's a risk. That's an unknown. The Pauls have mainstream power. The Pauls have mainstream appeal. They've done it. They've been on that side. So you go with that and you don't go with a risk and an unknown. That's just how their business works. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that's what they do.
Yeah, but, you know, I try to avoid covering them because I want them to fall out into irrelevancy as soon as possible.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's pretty crazy. The whole thing is all fucking insane. I mean, it's one of the... YouTube is fucked up. Incredibly. I hate that I'm back on this platform. After what they did to me for the second fucking time, I want to come back here, but there's no alternative. There's no alternative. I got nobody even knows I was on Twitch. And I average anywhere between 20 and 50 people there. And I still, nobody knows that I was on Twitch. You know what I mean? It's just like, I come back here and we're getting our numbers back. Everything's growing. And I've only been back on YouTube for a week and a half. You know, it's like, this is where to be. If you want to grow and you want to have a chance of really growing something out and making something of yourself financially, YouTube is where it's at.
YouTube wants to be the new TV. And they very well could, because I see children glued to their tablets watching YouTube hours of the day. And the thing is, YouTube, that just like TV is regulated, you will have to be too. And I don't know when they're, like, the government will step in eventually, if they haven't in parts of the world already. I'm sure they have. I just don't care because I'm not affected by it. Hey, but I just feel like if YouTube wants to be as big as television, then they need to regulate, because these issues that come up with the Pauls and PewDiePie and all these scandals, they're not going to stop. No, they're not.
They're not, because we're all animals. We're all human. We are not. Look, most of the people who are on YouTube, 95% of the people on YouTube, they didn't grow up with aspirations of being a fucking superstar in the regular sense. You know, maybe the singer aspects, yes, and stuff like that. But most your everyday vloggers and stuff, they just have like a little bit of dreams of one day maybe being on a radio, like me. I never pursued it, and I was in theater my entire life and all that stuff, but I never pursued it like really crazily. I wasn't going to Hollywood, I wasn't going to New York, I wasn't doing anything like that. And I think a lot of people on YouTube fall into that same category. YouTube gave them an opportunity to realize a dream that was never possible before, and none of us are prepared for it. You know, I mean, people who go through those, you know, the pageant mom kids, the kids that are constantly being taken to auditions and all type of stuff like that, they have a different rule set. There's a whole different, there are people that are governing that every step of the way. Now, granted, those kids are still getting abused and all, but the point is, there are things, regulations in place to help prepare the family, prepare the person a little bit for what's to come. We have no handlers. It's just us. We're just basic ass fucking people, the most of us. So it's uncontrollable, and it's gonna have to change at some point because it's unsustainable. We're animals. We're fucking savages. We fuck each other over constantly to make a buck. There's no honor. There's no code. There's nothing. It's one thing I've learned in the past 3 months about YouTube. Jesus Christ, there's no fucking code at all. It is kill or be killed in this motherfucker, and they don't care. But that's just me. I'm very jaded at this point. I'm incredibly fucking... I'm really cynical.
Welcome to the rat race.
Right. Welcome to the depression hour. And you know what the funny thing is? Today is Suicide Prevention Day. And I'm pretty sure I just depressed every fucking YouTuber in the world. Like, I can see there are YouTubers who just started a channel. They're standing on a fucking chair right now, and it's my fault because I was so depressive. Holy fuck. My God. Don't jump off the chair. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Trust me.
I do want to say that Danny said earlier that that she thinks that Onision's just stirring up this controversy to try to keep his channel alive. Okay. And Danny, I think you're probably right. He sees that these videos are actually getting views and everything else he talks about isn't. He tried to start up after Shane Dawson released his Jeffree Star documentary. Onision made 2 videos where he said that Jeffree Star sexually harassed him. Nobody gave a flip.
Yep. I never even heard that until right now. I never even heard that. But it doesn't surprise me because, look, do not take this any way other than it's intended, people, but do not get it twisted for 1 second that he is not motivated by Shane Dawson's fucking catapult recently. Shane was already a star. Now he's a megastar. He's on the way to going to a whole nother fucking level on YouTube. Onision knows this, and it affects him. I guarantee you.
He hates it. He's trying to peddle still that Shane Dawson is a pedophile.
Yeah.
Still, he's trying to peddle that BS. He hates it.
And it's just so for the irony of a guy who judges children. Oh my God! Judges the bodies of children is going to actually talk about Shane. Shane Dawson might be a lot of things. He might be a phony. I don't know. I don't think he's a pedophile. That would shock me. I don't see him being Jared Fogle. But, man, you never know. Never know.
Oh, my God. If you ever want to puke, you can listen to the recorded conversations they have.
Who doesn't
the Jared from Subway guy.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even know where he talks about how he tricks, like, 12-year-olds into fucking him. It is so disgusting. Like, I had to turn it off, Dave, when they were playing it on Dr. Phil. That's right, everybody. I watch Dr. Phil.
Of course you do.
I couldn't even watch the episode because when they played the tapes, it made me, like, I literally thought I was going to puke. It's so disgusting. Anyway, burn in hell. Bye.
By the way, yesterday was Suicide Prevention Day. Excuse me, okay, get back on the chair. What's that correction for? Okay, Jesus, okay, get back on the chair then, because I can't save anyone's life. Shut the fuck up. What does that mean? Thank you for the correction, Luke. I appreciate it. I just wanted to rant. Yeah, no, it's a disgusting thing. Like, I don't even want to eat Subway no more. It's gross. You might turn me into a pedophile. I don't know. Fuck.
Subway is like literally like my favorite like fast food place to eat. Quiznos, they kind of like died. I don't know what happened to them. They used to be Quiznos, but now it's Subway because they're the closest thing. So unfortunately, that's not gonna like deter me.
You're like, bread is my life.
Sorry.
So I'm Canadian, and we all know that Canadians aren't pedophiles, so I have an immunity. It's fine. It's totally fine.
I'm probably gonna homeschool my kids, so I'm sorry that yours got. I mean, probably. Like, I can't trust anybody, Dave. And honestly, I'm more educated and more better suited than like the school teachers to actually educate my own kids. Probably. Plus, I already have like a teaching license and stuff, so I might as well just. I already am a teacher, so I might as well just teach my own kids because I actually care. I'm not some underpaid babysitter, basically, with like. 30 kids that hate them, seeing them day in and day out.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but like, oh my God, Dave, like 20 minutes from me, there was like this daycare and this couple threw a pot of hot coffee on a 2-year-old and killed them.
No.
Killed them. Yes, killed this 2-year-old at a daycare, running a daycare. And then they got 9 years in prison, but now they're trying to sue the family of the child they killed for harassing them on Facebook.
Oh my God.
Because they're like, bitch, you want to sue them for harassing on Facebook? I would have killed you in your sleep if you killed my kid.
Oh my God.
You should be happy they sent a couple of mean Facebook messages.
What the fuck?
And they only got 9 years. God, bring back the death penalty.
No shit. What state are you in? I don't know. Don't dox yourself if you don't want to. Well, you're moving to a new state, right?
Yeah, Florida.
You're going to Florida. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, homeschooling might be the best choice in Florida. Yeah, you might make making the right choice, man. I approve.
Well, I would send my kids to private school if I were to send them to school, but I just don't think I'm going to because I don't know.
Just do it yourself.
I just don't trust it.
Do it yourself and make sure you got a lot of social interaction for it. It'll be fine. You know?
Yeah, they'll go to church and they'll do all that church stuff.
Oh, that's right. You're not. That's right. You're not done. That's right. You're not done. You're about to have a tribe at some point. You're going back on the baby making wagon, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like that like old saying where it's like go forth and prosper or whatever.
How long are you gonna wait?
That's not it.
No, it's not. It's not even at all. It's not.
The Christians are mad.
So what is? So how long are you gonna wait?
What? To have my next kid?
Yeah.
I mean, whenever it happens, dude.
we're performing without a net here, Dave. Don't worry about it. All right. So okay,
we don't use birth control in this family.
Every sperm is sacred, you know. Good Lord.
Can't let it go to waste.
No. All right. So we we completely went away from Onision. We went into YouTube and Jake Paul, and I don't think that was on the docket today, but fucking fantastic job there.
You know what? This is the ultimate roundup.
Just catch up.
It's not the YouTube roundup, but it's just the roundup. Now, I'm not branding that because that's against the rules.
No.
But it's kind of a roundup of a YouTube type sort. So whatever you want to call that.
we can brand that. You don't gotta worry. That's ours. You know. And I mean, and I mean ours because he said it on my show and I own half of it. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. Every idea that Faye has, it's half mine. It's just how it is. She said it on my show. It's just the reality of it. But no, we could promote our own shit. So yeah, fuck it. The roundup. We're gonna trademark that shit too. The roundup, motherfuckers. Don't ever forget it. What else we got on the roundup today, Faye?
Let's talk about the beauty community. I know you care a lot about this one. And you probably actually heard about this because it blew up a bit.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Laura Lee.
Laura Lee. She fucked up a little bit, huh?
Well, I think Manny fucked up more, but whatever. We'll talk about that. But it's just Laura Lee has the funniest video, so.
Tell us what happened to Laura Lee.
Oh my god. There is this gay guy that reenacts her video. It was so funny.
Oh, her apology? Oh, yes.
Yeah, her apology.
Yeah, there's a whole series. There's a whole series of them. Laura Lee's apology with better acting. Yeah. I see the whole litany of them. Tell us what happened in the situation for the kids who don't know.
They're so funny. Anyway, as you all know, I did cover the throuple breakup. That's right. I was on the ground floor, guys.
You were. You were on the ground floor.
I don't know if that video got deleted, so you can't confirm, but I was on the ground floor.
She was there. It all starts here.
And basically, they started hanging out with this other guy. I think his name was Gabriel. I'm sorry, I can't remember. But he is the prettiest of the bunch.
Heavy on the Gabriel. Ow. Continue, please.
Excuse me.
I'm
that
sorry.
Is Tobes' new boyfriend.
Oh my.
Just kidding, it's Shawn Mendes. Tobes hates when I say that, but I swear to God, I remember Tobes once saying that if he could marry any guy, it would be Shawn Mendes. And Tobes says that's not true, but I swear to God, I remember him saying that. Anyway.
I don't know. I'll say he said it just to back you up because fuck Tobes. You know, but I don't know if he did. I have no idea.
Tobes ex Shawn Mendes. Shawn Mendes is Canadian, so I have to hear so much of his music. I hate it. Anyway.
I couldn't name a Shawn Mendes song if you fucking put a gun to my head. I couldn't.
Treat You Better?
I could. But I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it off the top of my head. Is my point. If somebody would have put a gun to my child's head and said, "Name a Shawn Mendes fucking song, or she's gone," well, unfortunately, I'm burying my kid. Because there's no fucking way. It's unfortunate. That really made me sad saying that, but it's fucking true. There's no. I would have never been able to. I know that song, but I would have never been able to say Shawn Mendes is. I don't.
And don't forget about Stitches.
Oh fuck yeah. Okay. I don't like any of those songs. All right. Fantastic.
Meet Tobes.
That's good. Leaping Lizard's the man. I love him so much. All right, so what happened in this fucking crazy situation? The throuple breaks up.
Anyway, so they basically tweeted out a picture where they're doing the give her the middle fingers, and they're like, "Oh, so glad to have that person, that cancer, whatever, cut out of my life." I don't give a fuck what it really said. Basically, it was a shot at Jeffrey, and then people were like, "Oh, how could you say that?" And then all these like racist tweets that Laura tweeted, didn't retweet like she says in her apology, but actually tweeted, got resurfaced, and it got her like a lot of attention, right? And she makes a video saying, "Look, guys, that's not who I am." Basically with like the worst fake crying ever. So bad at fake crying that even Trisha made a video and said, "Girl, I can fake cry better than that."
Oh, I bet we all know that's true. Ask poor Nash. Ask Mr. Jason. Good God.
I would sell my kidney to watch everything I don't see about Jason and Trisha's relationship.
Oh, I bet you would. You would move in and just document it for free if you could. I mean, not even to put out like on video, just for your own personal collection. I could see that.
I'd even let Trisha wave at my child. like from afar.
Yeah,
so like
right.
she could like at least wave. You know what I mean?
You don't want to let her get too close because if she waves too close, there's gonna be food all over your child, and you don't want that. That's not good. So it's not.
Food is the least of my concerns.
Good point. Good point. Very well played, madam. Well played.
This is the 100 layers of cum girl, as people like to call her.
And you never know when one of those layers might just come off. I mean, fuck, my God. She couldn't have got them all off. It was 100. It was 100. That's a lot of layers. Fuck me. Some of them had to merge with her. I have no idea. Terrifying. Terrifying. Fuck.
But... So anyway, so she cries and she says, "Oh, guys, not me." Basically, it was like the worst apology ever.
Yeah.
If you don't want to watch it, and I don't blame you because it's boring as heck, watch one of the parodies of it.
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple of the parodies of it. They're pretty good. So there's been a couple people got really dramatic with it, and people got creative with it. It's very cool. I like that. But
anyway, people got pissed.
So this was just over a little bit of shade, though. This was just a little bit of shade. I mean, she just
this was about her racist tweets resurfacing. She didn't even address.
Oh, okay, the racist tweets. Okay.
Now, what happened is that after Gabriel got backlash, he made a video saying, "Listen, guys," because Laura and Manny liked the tweet that he posted, and then they unliked it and they said, "Gabriel, how dare you put that? This does not represent how I feel at all." And Gabriel was like, "Fuck you, cunts. Yes, it is how I feel." He like totally exposed them for like the little rat snakes they are.
Oh wow.
And he's like. He's like, they were like, "Yeah, post that. I love it. So funny." And then as soon as they got backslash, they were like, "Take that down." And Manny literally was like, "Make a tweet where you say that this was all you and we had nothing to do with it." And they're like, "Then it's okay."
Good Lord.
Anyway.
Power
and
play.
Then, yeah. Then Manny makes an apology video, but doesn't even address about what everyone's mad about. So he totally like ignores it, and everybody's pissed. And it's just really funny because, you know, as you also know, like I think Laura Lee, if I remember correctly, also was releasing a Morphe palette around the same time.
Right.
And it was just garbage because Morphe is garbage. If you guys don't know, Morphe is horrible. It's all private labeled BS. Go watch Stephanie Nicole's video about Morphe. She'll explain it all how it works because she knows about the beauty industry if you're actually interested in that. But it's complete garbage. And it was so funny that when people are asking for refunds, Morphe was literally saying, "Try to love it before you return it."
Yeah, I know. I tried to love all my Morphe. I know I use Morphe all the time. You know, putting it on my skin and hair, and you know, I use it for everything. I mean, and I know it's trash because I was into it for so long. I used it on my hands, maybe. I don't know. I use it everywhere. I was all about it. No, I don't. What the fuck's a Morphe? What's a Morphe? I don't know what this is. This is makeup?
It's like a makeup, makeup,
okay.
like eyeshadow.
Eyeshadow.
Eyeshadow and brushes. Yeah. Okay. Katie brings up a good point. Nikita Dragon also had racist tweets that came up. That's true, but she didn't get dragged as much. And I think the reason why is because, number one, she's not part of that little quad that was against Jeffrey, and they didn't bash Jeffrey after the Shane Dawson documentary came out, because as soon as that came out, it put Jeffrey up on a pedestal.
Oh yeah.
So everyone was like on his side, and for them to attack him, not a good look. And number two, I also think it was because she was like actually 14 when these other people were like going around like saying the N-word and saying these racist things. They were like 18, 20, you know, at the time, and like 14 versus 20, it's a little bit more forgivable when you're like just basically an edgy teenager versus like a sad adult. You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you. Let me go a little sidebar here because I want to ask you on this. We've seen this whole resurfacing of tweets, expose of old tweets. We've been seeing this everywhere, not just in the YouTube world. We've seen it in sports, everywhere. Yeah, James Gunn, great example. But all kinds of people losing careers, losing jobs, or we've seen it in sports, really not losing all that much. But still, it's happening. Where do you feel on this? Do you think that people should be held responsible for something that they tweeted out, more than likely in the same way that we see tweets now as a meme or a troll? Do you think that people need to be held responsible for something that they said on Twitter 10 years ago? Is that something you're in for?
If you are a professional, clean your shit up. Like if you are a professional, if your money is your image, if you are your brand, it is your job to clean that shit up. If you work for family-friendly companies like Disney, clean your shit up. You do not own you. They own you.
Okay.
Like, okay, so obviously, like, I went to school for business, right?
Yeah.
Brand is everything. I could not stress that much. It matters so much to them that, like, jobs I have worked for in the business world, I had to sign off documents, okay, that I can't disclose anything I see, that I can never say anything bad publicly on social media that has my name, my real full name attached to it, that and people know that I work there, that could ever be associated with them.
Right.
When that furry told like some higher up in NASA to go like lick their asshole and eat their balls or something like that.
Suck my dick and balls. Suck my dick and balls. And she was an intern. It was the greatest story I've ever covered on this show. Suck my dick and balls, live forever. Unbelievable.
And got fired for it? I was like, no shit. Okay?
Okay, but that's a little bit...
world we live in.
But okay, but that situation's a little bit different. You know, this was a situation, I really didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that it happened. I understand that you need to be held responsible for the things, your actions and all that. But I mean, this was out of excitement. And somebody just said one word to her and she felt that she was being censored on her own private thing. So she said, suck my dick and balls. I'm an intern. Just turned out that this person was on the panel that oversaw NASA. And he's not but he's not even the person who got her fired, which is the interesting thing.
But whatever.
Yeah. It's a hard thing.
I think she should have been fired.
Really?
It's not hard for me.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't have a problem with that?
No.
It's a very, to me, I think that's a very slippery slope. And I think mainly because not everybody is held accountable for everything that's happening on the internet. You know, there are so many things that goes unnoticed on the internet or unenforced for so many reasons. But now, because we live in this social justice period, now specific things are going to affect your life forever, while there's millions of other things, your websites, the things that you go to, whatever the case. How long until all of those are then fair game? And that scares me, because then we have internet police.
Let me tell you, Dave, that I work in a professional environment. Yeah. My professional life and my internet life are separate. Do that. Number one. Number two, if you so feel the need to have a social media where you can just express your every feeling, make it private. That's what I do. I have an alternate private Twitter where I actually talk and say things unfiltered to only a select group of people I know don't give a poop. Okay?
Right. but see, here's the problem with kind of what you're calling for, that type of regulation. And make no mistake, that's what will be coming. That anonymity is gone. It's absolutely, you're going to have to sign that away. And that's the scary part for me, because you're going to have to make a choice. You personally, one day, potentially, is going to have to make a choice whether you want to continue to do something that you enjoy here or just pursue your business life and really, for all intents and purposes, be censored. I mean, is that something you're willing to do and just accept the risk of your chosen profession?
You don't have to be censored. You can use, you don't have to talk about where you actually work. You don't have to use your full name. You can use a little anime picture and call yourself Delilah on bunnies and say whatever you want.
But that's now. But what I'm talking about is when these type of situations get blown up to the next level where there has to be enforcement, that anonymity is gone. You're not going to be able just to hide behind a screen name anymore. They're going to know who you are. That's the point of it. And that's what's coming.
Then you know what? You know what, Dave? Then you got to do what we had to do before the internet and talk shit in person.
Yeah. No, that part I agree with. There's no question, because there's not a doubt in the world. We all know we say things and do things on the internet we would never do in real life. But it is still real life, and eventually those two are going to meet. And when they do, maybe there'll be balance, maybe there'll be a revolution. I don't know. It's a scary thing, because this is the last bastion of, the wild, wild west. That's what the internet is. It's the fucking wild bunch. People get away with so much on the internet. And
maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe that's not a bad thing.
I think it's a good and bad thing. I think that there are things that you can do in the virtual world that might preclude you from doing some things that you probably shouldn't be doing in the real world. I mean, sometimes it's a release to be able to come on here and say things that I know that I can't really go out into the street and fucking scream without, worry of somebody coming to punch me in the face. Dr. Disrespect, the last 2 fucking days, has had his house shot at during streams. That's unconfirmed if it's 100% legitimate or not, but I mean, it seems to be. This is the world. Those lines are becoming less and less blurred. They're going to disappear completely. And when that happens, we're all unprepared for what the ramifications are going to be. That's
but don't you think these anon squatters, these shooters, these people that are harassing these streamers should not have that anonymity to hide behind?
Absolutely.
That they should be held responsible. So that's why I see the other side of it. I'm just kind of like, those people should be found, and those people should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Yes.
You know what I'm trying to say? So it's kind of like, you know, like, honestly, like...
But what about the everyday troll? What about the everyday troll that get their... I mean, this is a South Park fucking a bit we're talking about at this point. Yeah. You know, that's the season a couple seasons ago. It was all about this, and it seems to be something that's in the works. In some countries, it's already being enacted. You know, it's pretty crazy.
Then I say own your shit. I have no problem saying, like, yeah, I'm going to go troll these people. You know what I mean? I have no problems, like, obviously trying to get, like, you know, bait people and get a funny reaction. I do that. I've been doing that since, like, the day I was born. I do that with my family, okay? It'll never not be funny to me. I will always do it. It's just a facet of my personality. If you have these thoughts and you don't want to keep them under wraps and you feel like you want to talk about it, then own it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I can't disagree with you because I am one of the biggest advocates of personal responsibility there is. But the thing is, with what we have and where people have already built, you know, legacies, careers, whatever the word you want to use, fortunes, you know, it's going to be a major shift when those two worlds finally collide and there's no line in between anymore. And that's going to be a very tough time.
James Gunn, I know you're watching this. Delete and deny, okay? That's what you should have done, James Gunn. Delete and deny. What tweet? That was Photoshopped. I never did that. Wow, you guys, you're just trying to start a hate campaign against me? God, come on, that's not very cool. You would have kept your job, James. Hey, you had plausible deniability and you didn't use it? No.
But you know, in some ways, it's just kind of apt. You know, I mean, we saw this with what's her name, something Dean,
Paula Dean.
Paula Dean, yeah, right. That was pre-internet. That was something that she said during a court appearance 30 fucking years ago. You know, and she lost a lot for a long period of time. That had nothing to do with the internet. So it's like there's already a precedent for it. You know, things can resurface, not resurfaced, of course, because of the internet. That's not to say that it wouldn't have resurfaced through regular means of the media, but we don't know that for a certain fact. You know, it's so...
And you know what's going to get you in trouble.
Right.
Like, I will say this. So, like, a 19-year-old who said the N-word and it got resurfaced in the beauty community was like, guys, and gave the same bullshit excuse that Tana did. I didn't know that was a bad word. Right, bullshit. At 19, you know what that effing means if you live in effing America. My 8-year-old cousin knows not to say the N-word in effing Canada, and we didn't have slavery for as long as you guys did, okay? You know what it means. If you're going to tweet that out, if you're going to be an edgy 13-year-old, understand that your actions have consequences. When you touch the hot stove, it burn. So you understand that concept? Good.
No, you're 100% right there. I think each case, there's so many different subjectivity to it. Age being part of it, you know, in some cases. There are people who, you know, we just had a guy in Major League Baseball, a reliever. He was like 16 years old. He fucking tweeted out something. He's 26 now, so it was a decade ago. He made the All-Star game, and somebody went ahead, because he got famous with the All-Star game and all that, went through his Twitter timeline, found him saying some fucked up shit, and he actually had to, now he has to go to fucking sensitivity training. They sent him to sensitivity training over. You know, it's like, this is some crazy stuff.
That's a slap on the wrist, man.
It is. It could have been a hell of a lot worse. There's no, but it's just.
They could have taken him off of the. They could have taken him off of the cover of the next MBL game or whatever it is.
MBL. Yeah, but the reality is, you are right. At the end of the day, you are responsible for what is on your timeline, and if you can make the excuse, and I'm sure if it ever happened to me, I would do the same thing. Man, that was a long time ago. I'm not the same person. Because that's your only defense. That's all you have. You got to own it and move the fuck on. That's really all you can do, because if you argue against it, you're fucked.
We've all said cringy things when we were kids. You know what I mean? And that's why I said, with Nikita Dragon, 14, that's why I was just kind of like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? 14. Okay, and then I hear this 20-year-old, and I'm like, okay, you're 20. Yeah. That's a different ballpark now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So basically, it's kind of like, you know, when you're 15, under 15, you can kill someone and you can't be tried as an adult, right, for murder. So you get like a really easy sentence. Do your murdering when you're under 15, kids.
And just make sure you delete all that shit. There are services now that are starting to become really big. And John Lester, I believe, Very big, famous Major League Baseball pitcher, by the way, for my Chicago Cubs, just saying. I think recently actually touted out one of those. He shouted out one of those sites that goes through your timeline and just wipes shit out. You know, there's just certain words, and that's an interesting concept. So it's, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting thing when we see going down the line. But in this case, it is a little bit different. This is recent stuff. This is things that, you know, you're tied to your equity of your brand. And you can't gamble with that too much or you will go bankrupt.
Remember when Nicki Minaj said, I'm a brand, bitch, I'm a brand?
Right.
Well, if that's the lifestyle you choose, then you better watch it. You better think, oh man, I better delete that Twitter before I go and try to start a YouTube channel.
Was that before or after she punched Cardi B? You can't wait to talk about that tomorrow with Tobes.
Tobes is covering that, and I will not talk about it, but also Nicki did nothing wrong.
You're not Team Cardi? Bitch, come here! Bitch, come here! Bitch, come here! I can't wait to talk about Tobes. Talk to Tobes about this tomorrow. It's gonna be so amazing. It's gonna be so amazing. I've been sitting on this for like 4 fucking days. I love Cardi B. She's not my favorite though. My new favorite is Doja Cat. Doja Cat, that's my girl. Moo, bitch, I'm a cow, man. That's my thing. I can't stop. I play that all the time. I think I have it here as well, but I don't want to play it on YouTube and get in trouble.
And really quick, before we end, I want to talk really quickly about this, because nobody cares about them. Mundane Matt and Mr. Mediocre.
Yep.
I don't know how to say his name. I just call him Mr. Mediocre.
Just call him Mr. Mediocre. That'll work.
I guess you would call them part of the skeptic community. I call them the alt-right just because I think it's funny. I don't really care what the political alignment is. I call all of them the alt-right community.
Right.
The alt-right.
Go ahead. By the way, the views and words chosen by one Faybel does not necessarily represent the views and words chosen by that of Dead on Dave or Dead on Dave Enterprises. Please send your letters accordingly. And yes, still, I own anything she says on the show aside from the offensive things that you don't like. Write her, not me. Write her, not me.
This is Canadian American rules here. Anyway.
That's right. That's right. All right, please continue. What's going on with those two?
Basically, he, as you know, or you probably heard at least.
Yeah.
Everyone that would make a video against Mundane Matt would secretly get taken down or content ID'd or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And basically, on a live stream, people were kind of suspicious, and they said, Mundane Matt, we think you're doing this. And he was like, nah, guys, it's like a troll that's like doing it on my behalf to make it look like it's me. And some guy figures out live on stream that you actually have all your reporting history documented on your channel. So they said, Matt, screen share with us and just show that you don't have any reports. Dead silence.
Good Lord.
It was awesome to watch. It is so funny. It's like bingo. Eventually he does show it, and yes, it was him the whole time. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, Keemstar was a part of that as well, correct? He was part of that.
Yes, he was. That was funny.
Which
there. But let's be serious. We can pretty much credit completely Mr. Mediocre, which I actually like his videos, even though he's part of the alt-right community. I just don't like his Nazi videos. Just kidding, he doesn't make any. Okay, that was a joke.
It was a joke. It was a joke, people. Don't fucking get mad at me. I mean, get mad at her. She'll kick your ass though. So fucking choose your words carefully.
Anyway,
it's an interesting thing. You know, you live long enough to
as a YouTuber, I just want to hear your opinion on that.
He fucked up. You know, there's no two ways around it. You can't call people out for the very thing that you've been doing. That's the ultimate hypocrisy. And I'm somebody who will defend hypocrisy in a lot of cases because we all do it. You live long enough on the fucking internet, you're going to stumble over things that you already said, or you're simply going to change your fucking mind. That is just how it works.
Even my baby is a hypocrite.
Right, but it doesn't. But that's the funny thing. Just because you have moments of, yeah, that's right. I don't like poop. Poop. Yeah, they're the ultimate hypocrites. Goddamn poop making machines. Jesus Christ.
No, the worst part is that when she's like, I'm tired but won't go to bed.
Right, just the worst. Yeah, that's called a paradox, my love. Paradox. But the funny thing is, it's like just because you have moments of being hypocritical doesn't make you a hypocrite. It makes you human. You know, you're gonna say things that stumble over. That's how it works.
Amen.
However, there are certain differences here. This is not an accident. This is something that he was perpetuating for people to follow and then taking down anyone who was critical of him. The very thing that is like the whole stance of that platform, you know, and so that's the ultimate hypocrite, you know, and it's a game ender in a lot of cases. I don't know if he's ever going to recover. I have no idea, and I'm not even sure that I would have a problem with if he does. I believe everybody deserves a second chance. That's why I don't fucking burn bridges. I don't bury people that have fucked me over unless I absolutely need to. Because everybody, you know, you have to give somebody a chance to redeem themselves. But it's got to be an honest, legit shot, and with time, he'll probably get it because the YouTube, that's just how the internet works. It's a cycle.
But you have to prove to me, like, I'm not just going to forgive you because time has passed.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I need to see an improvement.
Absolutely.
But kids don't necessarily work that way.
No, no, you have to. There has to be something done. And Hulk Hogan is a great example of this. And not to go mainstream and normie on you for a moment, but I mean, this was something.
What is this? A wrestling show on Dead on Dave?
Right, yeah. Shocker there. No, it's that whole situation where Hulk Hogan, you know, said some things in private. Again, this ties into what we were talking about earlier. Said some stuff in private, didn't know he was being recorded, gets leaked. He loses a lot because of it. He loses endorsement deals. WWE, for all intents and purposes, kicks him out of the Hall of Fame. You know, he was stricken from the record, you know, for a long period of time. Now that he's getting back into the WWE, he's back into the Hall of Fame, he's had to go and make amends and show the, in their words, black delegation of the wrestling community that he has changed. And some are accepting, some are not. Some feel he hasn't done any of the work that he needs to do. I had a good conversation online on Twitter with JTG about this very thing. I got to get in the DMs with a professional wrestler who wrote one of the best written articles on this topic that I've ever written. And if you have not read it, you guys should go check it out. JTG, incredible wrestler, better author. Go read what he's writing. He's incredibly well spoken, and he speaks on this perfectly. About it can't just be about a cash grab. It can't just be about your legacy. It has to be about actually wanting to improve as a character, and there are ways of doing that. One mainly is not constantly referencing "don't get caught saying stupid shit." That's the wrong message. Just don't do stupid shit, period, would be the better message. And when you are, actually act contrite. And you have to show that. Just like you said, you have to prove. He's going to have to prove that back to you. And Monday Matt has a hell of a fucking hill to climb up if he wants to gain the trust back of people within his own community, let alone everybody else who may not be so forgiving.
Mm-hmm. But it's funny because he made his name off of fighting the censorship, and then he turned around and did that. So I don't know if there is redemption for him, but whatever. Because like, just because he's in that specific, you know, really hardcore free speech community,
right?
That's hard. That's hard. That's like you know, being like part of the KKK and then like marrying a black person. Like, yeah, it's just
right. Yeah, it's like being a porn star and cutting off cocks. You know, it's just like, no, we need these. These are part of this. No.
Hey, that's a fetish, and
you can. You know what? You are the Faynicorn, but I have my limits. And I'm just saying, I follow you into hell and back, but I need to keep that. That's an important thing to me. It's my donger. It really is. Do you have any more stories? You want to take some calls? You want to wrap this up? What do you want to do? It's all
Somebody
you.
Somebody wants to call. Come and call. We all know Dave is not doing anything. Yeah, he's in Eastern Standard Time now, so he can't be all like, I gotta go to bed.
I can't even say that I have to go to bed. If you want to call in, get into the Discord, load up. You can talk about anything that we have talked about today, or anything else that maybe we have missed and you want to talk to Faye about. Feel free. Also, we are taking well, I am at least. I mean, I'm pretty sure Faye's not going to chug for you, but I'll chug for you if anybody wants to support the channel. Same thing I've been doing on Twitch and YouTube. $15. I'll chug a beer for you faster than you've ever seen in your life, while Faye tells you why you're all stupid. I don't know. You're not actually going to do that, but still.
Well, you're all stupid. I will.
Good shit. And
the human brain is limited in its amount of ability and understanding.
Very true.
Somebody came in.
Speaking
I
of
couldn't
which,
even explain Tobes. Whatever. You have to do that tomorrow then.
Welcome in my gay delegation, the one, the only, and the returning co-host tomorrow, my Tobesies. What's going on, baby boy?
How's it going, Dave? How's it going, Faye? I missed you so much.
I missed you too,
Thank you,
dog.
Tobes. I can't wait to talk about Cardi B and Nicki having sex tomorrow.
Whatever the copious king demands, I guess.
Yes, that's right. All bow before the copious lord. This is true, yes. My God. Just put a bullet in my fucking head now, Tobes. Holy Lord. What do you got for us, gay man?
Wow.
Wow. You know what? You just lost your job.
It was
over that one.
descriptive. What? I was being I just didn't want you to think I was talking to you, Faye. There's two people in the room. If I say gay man, Tobes cannot possibly think of. If I say queen, both of you are going to answer yes. Gay man, there's only one person in the room that fits that demographic. For now.
What the fuck is that supposed to be?
I haven't met.
I'm just fluid, Tobes.
Exactly. I haven't met you yet. I haven't seen the marvelousness of Mr. Tobes. I don't know what you did to Tommy. I have no idea. Who knows what you're gonna do to me? I'm way better looking than that fucking chud.
You're not wrong.
Oh!
Hey! Yes! Fucking spill that tea, bitch! That's what I'm talking about. Hell, you heard that? That's right.
Tommy's weirdly built. Can we just talk about this for a second?
Yes, please.
He's like top heavy. Like he has the legs of a man in the army and the top half of a drunk hillbilly.
So what you're saying is from the waist down, he's okay.
Yeah, from the waist down, he's fine.
What really happened while you were in Germany? He inspected Tommy from the waist down, and he's doing okay. Heard it here first. Holy fuck!
No.
Yep.
No.
Tobes loves Tommy's lower half.
Tobes, you don't have to give a number, but like 5?
A 0.5.
Yay! Fuck him. He's not here. Fuck him. Is he here? No? Fuck him. It's fine.
Tommy's dick size is exposed.
Tommy never watches my show. Thank fucking Christ for that, buddy. Holy Lord. Okay. All right.
If you zoom for 1 second, there's a Twitter video that goes up. You know what, Dave? I can't do a good Tommy impression.
Oh, God. All right, Tobes. What's up, man?
Well, I noticed there's a severe lack of Trisha Paytas in this episode.
She's not doing anything.
I covered it. She just got a damn puppy. Born as a bitch.
That's it? Really? That's it?
Yeah,
no
and
Jason
she named it...
Nash relationship drama? No nothing?
Okay, like, she almost broke up with him because he didn't want to go to Hamilton, but then he made it up by buying her Hamilton tickets, and so they went 2 nights in a row.
Oh, no!
I don't blame her on that one. Hamilton is life-changing. You know, that's his fault. He fucked up there.
Have you actually watched it?
I've listened to it. I haven't been able to actually see it, but I've listened to it numerous times.
If I make it to the U.S. next year, me and you are gonna watch it.
Oh yes, Queen.
Yeah.
See, and Faye wanted to say, "Oh, talking to me," because they both thought they were a queen. That's why I had to come to me.
I'd watch Hamilton too. Like, my husband really loves it. He drove, like, we commuted with my dad somewhere, and he made my dad listen to it. And then, like, a week later, my dad was like, oh, can we go here? And then he was like, but please don't make me listen to the history raps again.
Yo, MTV History Raps. That's right. I think that's the official name of it. Wayne Brady was a part of Hamilton for a while, I found out. I just recently found this out.
Fuck?
Yeah, I was shocked. Wait, you don't know who? I don't know. I don't know who he was in the play. I have no idea. But he was talking about it on Let's Make a Deal the other day. I was like, holy fucking shit. I didn't know that. That's amazing. I love Wayne Brady.
He's constantly confounding the much buffs, I guess.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. But Tobes, tweet at Trisha and say, get interesting, bitch.
That's right.
That meme where someone's poking it and just says, do something?
Yes! Yes!
So, do you have anything else other than yelling at Faye for not covering enough, Trisha?
Why do you hate Shane Dawson? Again, I need this.
It's not that I hate him, okay? I don't hate Shane Dawson. I don't know him. I can't possibly hate him. His content does not appeal to me. There's nothing relatable with him for me. I find him to be very fake and hollow. That's just me. That's just the way I view him. His content is not for me. I'm sure he's a good guy. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I just don't like the vlogs. I don't like the content. I don't find him an inspiring speaker. I don't find anything that he does all that fucking amazing. I just can't. I can't. I'm not there. I'm not there. You're a magnet. Yeah, I guess so. But you're goddamn bisexual fucking midget Arab, and yet you love Kevin Smith, and he's none of those things. You know, so it's...
That is true.
Good Lord.
Can I ask Tobes a question?
Yes, and then I'm going to get him out of here because I want to get Tonk on.
Alright, Tobes. Marry, fuck, kill Shane, Rylan, Garrett.
Ooh.
We've already done this. We've
Do it
already
again.
covered this.
Do it again.
But There are new watchers, Tobes, and they need to know.
This one's actually pretty hard. Like, I need to really think about it. I'd kill Ryland. That's no.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm gonna save you guys a lot of time because I'm just gonna kill myself. How about that? Can we kill me, Tobes?
I'd kill Ryland, marry Shane, and marry Garrett. Fuck Shane.
There you go.
Like same, but kill Shane and fuck Ryland.
Ooh, very well done. All right,
no
Tobes.
shade to Shane, he's just not my body type.
That's right. Not twink enough. He's not twink enough. That's right.
Yeah, have you seen my husband? He's literally a skeleton. So.
Good God.
I've seen.
He's basically Mr. Zip, and you guys are far too young to know what Mr. Zip is. But anyway, Tobes, I will see you tomorrow there, sweetheart, okay?
All right, I'll talk to you soon, Dave.
Talk to you later, buddy. Good stuff. Let's bring in somebody that I've never actually talked to ever. I've never had a physical conversation with him. First time ever. The one and only Tonka's joining us now. What's going on, Tonka? You're live on Dave and Faye. What do you got?
Oh, what's up? Well, it's good to let Faye know I didn't meet the requirements for the YouTube Nazi party, so that I had to come over with Dave.
It's good. Not meeting those requirements is a good thing, I think, in Faye's eyes at least. I don't know. Maybe it's okay in some circles. I have no idea. I'm not one to do it.
You got a side eye. You don't know where she stands on things.
My grandma's cool with that, though.
Oh, Grandma's all right. Grandma says it's okay.
Yeah.
Grandma's joining the clan. That's right. Holy fuck.
Did you guys hear about the streamer getting shot at earlier today?
Yeah, Dr. Disrespect, one of the biggest streamers in the goddamn world. Last 2 days on live stream apparently has been shot at. We don't know with what. Today apparently it broke a window. Nothing's confirmed yet, but that's terrifying, man. I mean, you've had a little bit of fame and in some cases infamy, and very, very polarizing. You've had threats and stuff like that. How do you feel about these things when it becomes this real?
It was weird. Whenever they broke the news earlier, we were on the stream, and everybody just kind of stopped. We were kind of dead air for a second while everybody was reading it, because it's happened 2 days in a row. Somebody is apparently pretty dead set on shooting the guy.
Good word choice.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird to think about that. Somebody's sitting there and they're gonna drive by his house every day and shoot at him, and it's a streamer. He's streaming video games. Like, he's not even like a political streamer.
No. He's a character.
He could cheat on his wife, though.
Yeah, right.
Is that what it is?
No, I honestly don't know. I just think that they are looking for a reaction. They know a lot of people are watching him.
Yeah, but he's streaming. He's not streaming from an office. He's streaming from his home. His family's there. They know this.
Little baby.
That's fucking terrifying to me.
He has a little baby there.
Yeah,
he does.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes it way worse. Okay, I don't know. They'll have to. I know they have a lot of rules on Twitch for what you can and can't say. We were talking earlier. They're probably going to put one in where you just can't say where you're at, kind of like they did to Ice Poseidon last year. Just tell people you can't say where you're at. And if I were him, I would get an office.
Surely he must have enough money.
Yeah.
Yeah, rent out a space somewhere to do your streams from, because people trying to shoot you while you're on stream, apparently they're not going to stop. They've done it 2 days in a row.
Do you think this is kind of a little bit of a continuation of what Faye and I were talking earlier? This being something that is definitely blurring the lines of professionalism and personal life combined into the same thing. This could continue that wave of changing over and redefining, or actually defining, what YouTube and streaming and social media all is, because we do live from. I'm in my house right now. I'm in an apartment. Someone could easily pop me, and I live in a bad fucking neighborhood. It's like, are we going to have to start moving out of our basements, moving out of our apartments, moving out of our attics, wherever we stream, and go to office buildings and be more professional? And how does that change it if it happens? Do you see that being a possibility?
That's going to be that's something that a lot of people are going to fight against because of the convenience of what they do. Everybody loves the idea of sitting at home and doing the work, but when you get to it, if it gets to where it's not safe on a regular basis, you get stories like this every other day, every other week. But this guy, 2 days in a row, somebody's tried to shoot at him.
It's unbelievable.
So, that's the thing with me, is like 2 days in a row they drove by and tried to shoot the guy. Like, they didn't skip a day or anything. 2 days back to back.
Right. I'm like, Jesus, how many days are they going to go? Will they rest on Sunday? Who knows? My God.
Exactly. Do you gotta put a cop car there? Like, what is the other kind of things you would have to implement to kind of ensure the man some safety? And it gets to a point where you're like, yeah, you probably do have to kind of move to some sort of like a building at least away from your house, unless you want to bring that shit to the doorstep.
Right, because you know the anonymity of the internet, like we were talking about earlier, is a nice thing, but it's not finite. You know, people get doxxed all the time. There are hackers out there who are finding people's identities. And I don't even know if Dr. Disrespect has ever put his address out. I highly doubt that he has, but people found him. You know, that's fucking awful. It's terrifying. It's going to change the scope of what everything's about. It's Jesus.
If someone's bad and crazy enough to want to shoot your ass, all right, I'm going to imagine that doxing's not much of a thing for them.
Right.
So,
yeah. But I mean, one leads to the other. You know, they got to find you first to be able to dox you, know where you are, you know, get your information. Maybe not put it personally, but find it for themselves so they come and put a cap in your ass or accidentally shoot your family member or something. It's a terrifying realization of, once again, that blurring of lines of what we're doing and how real it can be at an instant's fucking notice. And we take it for granted.
There was another thing that happened a few months ago. We brought this up earlier too, where the Arab Andy. It was one of the Andes that hang out with Ice Poseidon.
Oh yeah. The bomb
he had the thing. Yeah, that's gonna put some kind of regulation is gonna happen on streaming, or on some of this stuff is going to end up getting addressed with some sort of legislation sooner rather than later.
And it's gonna affect us all.
Yeah,
it's gonna affect us
all. It's going to be a big deal for a lot of streamers. The way that a lot of people do business, they're gonna have to completely change their models, or probably. In some people's cases, they're going to have to evaporate their model. Yeah,
absolutely. Everyone's going to have to make a choice of whether this is worth it or not anymore. You know, going to have to go get a Mick job. You know, it's fucked up. It's crazy. Not everybody's Lord Vega. You know, Vega's in the chat. He's like, I wish a motherfucker would. You know, Vega's got an arsenal as his place, you know, but that's Vega, you know.
There's some people, you say mean words to some people on the internet and they're going to turn tail and run. Imagine the idea of people getting death threats. Yeah, like people shooting at your window and stuff. That's going to run a lot of people off.
I mean, how have you dealt with some of that? I mean, like, you've had some people come at you in some pretty hostile manners. How have you dealt with that? I mean, obviously, you're in a different level than I am. How do you deal with? I know what I've had to deal with, and it's very minor compared to someone like you. How do you deal with it?
I'm just ridiculously stubborn, is what most people say. I'm just, and maybe it's to a detriment, but I'm too stubborn for anything on the internet to bother me. Now, if I start getting bullets through the window, maybe I'll be forced to rethink things. But when it's just people acting a fool on the internet, I've always had a hard time taking it seriously.
Right.
It's always been like that. But at the same time, that's exactly what kind of makes it the worst situation like this ends up happening.
Exactly.
People say crazy shit on the internet all the time, and then somebody does that crazy shit they said, and everyone has to act shocked.
Right. Yeah, you take it for granted until you got a gun in your face. You know.
So yeah, I guess the stubbornness and foolishness maybe is how I'm dealing with it. Maybe it's not the best way to deal with it. Definitely not in this situation with bullets flying through the window. But I've always been the kind of person where if somebody's like, "Oh, I hate you. I want you off the internet," I'm like, "Then move me." I look at people like in this situation, they're like, "All right, fine," and they go get a bullet and they decide they want to try to move you. All right,
they moved you into a coffin, yeah.
It's getting to when it gets to that kind of crazy level with stuff. I don't know. People are saying that it's a new level of crazy. That's just people are just going nuts now. No, it's just that people have social media, and the crazy that used to be stuck in this town or this town or this town, he's got a national platform to act the fool now.
Yeah, and really, it's more from the mainstream stuff coming over into our little slice. This is stuff that real life, real world, whatever you want to call them, celebrities have had to deal with. Stalkers. Hell, how many stories can we recall? Phil Hartman being killed by a fucking fan. There's so many people that have been. John Lennon, you know what I mean? It's just there's so many real world celebrities. Now it's coming to our world because we're becoming that popular. This is new media.
Christina Grimmie was a YouTuber that was shot by a fan.
Good point.
That's true.
Good point.
I forgot about that. That was like a year or two ago, right?
Oh my God.
Yep.
That wasn't even that long ago.
No, it wasn't. Jesus. It's terrifying. Really
That's how fast the news cycle goes. Like, people have already forgotten about that. There was a shooting at YouTube headquarters a couple months ago.
Nobody even talks about it. It's gone. That's right. Yeah.
That's out the news cycle.
Yeah, because we're constantly inundated with information all the time, so we stop caring about the things that we see all the time. You can't possibly care about everything, so you decide to care about nothing. The brain just shuts off. Yeah, it's overstimulation. Tonka, my friend, I appreciate you being here, man. Is it cool if we talk about what might be happening, and is what we were talking about happening later on this week?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, is it going to be this Friday?
Friday. Well, this time in the afternoon on Friday.
Yeah, that could work.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome. Friday.
Just got scheduled now.
Yeah, we
had most of it.
We had it mostly
done.
worked out. I mean, just a couple dotting of the I's and such, which we're doing right now. If you guys love all the wrestling stuff, which you know, Dead on Dave Live was built on the back of wrestling back in the day. It's coming back in a very big way, not only with the morning show that I do, the Morning Slam, but pay-per-view coverage, major pay-per-view coverage. And we're kicking off the weekend of Hell in a Cell with this man who's going to be joining me for a full prediction show of Hell in a Cell. We're going to talk about a lot of things. Be here for it, because Tonka is going to be joining and turning this bitch up to a whole nother level.
What's wrestling?
See, she's perfect female co-host.
Perfect.
Boom.
Yeah, she really is. That's my Faynicorn. That's my Faynicorn. Thank you so much, Tonka. Man, tell the kids where they can find you and everything. I'm sure they already know, but please, be.
Well,
floor's yours.
yeah, I do the morning kumite every weekday morning at about 10:30. Sometimes we're about 10-20 minutes late. Life goes on, but we do that. It's over on the Tonka Saw channel. I appreciate the hell out of you, Dave.
No problem, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on, dude.
It was a good time.
Good talking to you, man. See you Friday. Awesome. Tonka, man. That's pretty cool shit. Good guy that I've said some things in the past, you know, when all that shit was going on. He's a good fucking guy. No reason to come on here, and he just did. That was very awesome of him. Let's get a little fucking clapping for Tonka right now until he does something bad, and then we can ostracize him again. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. Get your pitchforks, bitches. All right, good stuff. Who do you want to bring in? You want to get these guys in real quick? 1, 2, 3, and we'll get out of here?
Sure.
Awesome. We'll start with Delvina. Unfortunately, more important people had more things to say, so your time is limited. Unmute your microphone. What do you got for us? You're live with Dead on Dave and Faye.
I just wanted to talk to you real quick. How do you feel about Shane Dawson, like a big influencer on YouTube at the moment, making a documentary about Jake Paul?
Worried. I did hear about that.
Yeah. And he put out a little intro of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Put a little.
I'm worried it's going to sort of absolve the sins of the past, like the Tana and Jeffrey one did, and I try to humanize Jake Paul, and that does concern me because Jake Paul is not a human; he's a lizard person.
That's good shit. I'm hoping it's going to be more in an exposed vein. I'm hoping that there's going to be more to it than just what we're thinking it's going to be. I don't see Shane going the negative route. Doesn't really seem to be his MO. I'm sure he's more than capable. I don't know if he's going to use his platform to try to bury Jake Paul. I'm sure some people are hoping that's what it's going to be. I have no idea what it's going to turn out to be. Not even a fucking clue. Not even a little bit. And I don't know how I feel about it. I think that from a business standpoint, it's incredibly smart of Shane to do. He's becoming known for these reclamation projects, or whatever you want to call them, and it's going to be something that we're all going to be talking about. I can guarantee that. I don't know what it's going to accomplish, but from a business standpoint, pretty fucking smart.
Now, do you guys think that Jake Paul is going to play a character, like play the character that he plays on his YouTube?
Oh yeah, we're not going to see the real Jake. We're never going to see the real Jake. Jake's real self is like buried.
No,
numb.
We are seeing the real Jake. Who we see, I think that is 100% Jake Paul. And I'll tell you what, yes, the boxing match. The boxing match told me everything I needed to know. I thought that was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life. I've done some combat sports in my life. I know the adrenaline. I know everything that goes, the preparation, the things that you put into those type of environments, and the things that you have to sacrifice to do it. You go into a different mindset. And the fact is, after he not only put on a marvelous performance in that boxing ring against Deji, wins the fight, he doesn't use that platform to even let his brain take that moment and go with it with just a scream or a guttural primal yell. He plugged fucking merch, a limited edition 500 This is who he is. If there ever was an actual Jake Paul, and you could see the shit from when he first started on YouTube 10 years ago, because he's been on YouTube that long, he was still this kid.
Okay, I accept that.
This is who he
I blame
is.
his parents,
Yeah.
but I accept it.
Oh, I don't care who's to blame. We got a goddamn irreprogrammable. He cannot be fucking brainwashed out of this. This is who he is, and we all have to deal with it. I don't know who to blame for it, but this is who he is.
Yeah. One of the main things I expect from the whole documentary series is that Shane's gonna say, I'm gonna try and go really hard on him, but he's gonna pull what he did with Tana and say he's gonna go hard and not let him say any bullshit, but he's going to do what he did with Tana, and they're going to say bullshit, and him just not do that, because he's not a confrontational person.
Right.
That's not who he is. He's very anxious and very timid. And he
very people pleaser, yeah.
Yeah. He's like me, pretty much.
All right, Delvina, anything else, my dear?
Yes. Aeon, it's time for your intervention, and you need to stop. He has a Daniel problem.
Agreed. Thank you, Delvina. It's good hearing from you again.
Good to hear you too. Glad to know you're back.
I am alive indeed. I'm also on Twitch every day. Thanks for coming down. Talk to you later, Delvina.
Bye.
Good stuff. All right, let's bring in Kolofsky. What's going on, Kairu? What do you got for us? You're live with Dead on Dave and Faye.
Faye.
What's up,
How are you? I was just going to say, welcome back, Faye. It's always great to have you on the show. It's always my favourite ones when you're here.
Oh, blush.
It's like every time kid makes a sound in the background, I'm just like, no.
Does it make your uterus pulse there, buddy?
Well, I think I grew a uterus just for it to pulse.
Fair enough. So the baby is that cute. It got my biological clock ticking too, and believe me, I ain't having another kid. Fuck all that. Done. Alicia's enough. 8th grade now, by the way, Faye. 8th grade. She has a boyfriend. Alicia has a boyfriend, and
Jeez, they grow up so fast.
Oh God. I'm not even there to
how old
threaten
is
them.
8th grade? Because I don't know the American
13.
system.
13 and a half now. Fuck.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, she's in Germany, remember? So probably same system you're on. So
No, we have a different system.
it's close enough. Whatever. You're all fucking bunch of assholes. What do you got for me, Kowalski? What do you got for us, buddy?
Nothing. I just wanted to say that.
You fucking asshole. Get out. Nick Kowalski. Now you're Kowalski. Congratulations, fuckhead. Congratulations. See you later, man.
See you, man.
Good shit. All right. Final call of the night. The one, the only, and the irrelevant. Bear. What do you got for us? You're live with Dead on Dave and Faye.
Hey, David.
Hello. How you doing, Bear?
Hey.
You better say hi to Faye.
Hi, Faye. Okay.
All right. What do you got for us?
Good talk.
That it?
So, you know, almost. But just wanted to let you know, I didn't really listen all that much to this show.
Okay. All right. No, anyone else. That's fine.
I keep these shows up, you know, just because I love you. But
thank you.
You know, it's up and I listened to some of it. You know, I was entertained.
I appreciate
what I heard.
Thank you.
It was nice.
Awesome.
Faye brings a very. I think she kind of carries you a little bit from.
I agree.
A little bit.
That's what the show's all about. I don't know what the fuck's going on. This is Faye. This is her show.
Well, yeah, that's your track record. Yeah, if you don't have talent, you know.
Have talented friends. Fucking ain't right.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about Tonka coming on Friday to do the prediction show with me? It's a good wrestling mind right there. He lived the life, buddy.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. Hole in Cell's probably gonna suck anyway, so.
Yeah, more than likely. All right, get out of here. I'm tired.
Love you.
All right, love you too. Bye. Good God. I don't know what happened to Faye. Faye, you still around?
Yeah, I just blame my farm internet.
No worries at all. We're going to wrap this bitch up anyway. Anything else you want to talk to the kids about? Final thoughts? Anything? Floor is yours. Tell them where they can find you and all that good stuff.
Don't find me. I'm broadcasting from a literal cornfield.
Are you in Iowa? What's happening?
Oh, because we don't grow corn in Canada.
No. The corn is American.
We have a corn festival.
but they say corn. They say it like that, right? It's corn. Corn? I don't know.
Also, I'm sorry that I died. Final thoughts, man. I gotta think of something good. Something good to end on. I can't.
That's okay. You know what?
God.
That'll work. I think it's appropriate. Because I think we said all the words. I think we've said all the words.
All my good little quips are gone.
You've had some good ones. You've had some real good ones. I'm going to use my final moment here to wish a very, very happy birthday to the man who just showed up in the chat a second ago. My good buddy and soul-crushing radio cohort, the one, the only, SCR Jim. Everybody wish him a very happy birthday. And as well, Super Nuts, who you'll never find in this chat, but you wish him a very happy birthday as well. Give a little bit of love on Twitter to the Soul Crush Radio Twitter handle, and give some happy birthday love to those two gentlemen who share a very ominous birthday.
George Bush did nothing wrong. Bye.
George Bush hates black people. We're out, people. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time. Tomorrow night, it's Tobes. Catch me on Twitch as well. No, actually, no Twitch tomorrow. Yes, Twitch tomorrow. I lied. Twitch tomorrow.
We'll find it.
Be there. 11 a.m. Be there at Tobes tomorrow night right after Tommy. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for being here. Give a little bit of love to the patrons on the way out. Peace with chicken grease. Never in the Middle East. Jews hate the Palestinians. Palestinians hate the Jews. Make sure you're only naked solo in the shower. And that's a shout out to my 7th grade science teacher, Mr. Shelby. Peace.
Bye.